Merry meet Annie here. The season of Mabon and the gods and the goddesses of it. Who are they? How do we relate to them? It's a big topic. We're going to touch on it just a little bit, offering some things for your consideration today. And if I jiggle about, this is why. Guess who says hello? Ernie's not been feeling too good today, so he's sleeping here in the guest bedroom on the bed. So I'm doing my recording right here with him, just to keep an eye on him. He's an old boy. He has his ups and downs. So you might hear him snoring as he goes back to sleep. So the gods and the goddesses in the season of Mabon. First, we have the season to inspire us. We can create our own gods of the season. All we have to do is give a personality to the season and then pay attention to its wisdom. Imagine what this season could be if you were sitting down and having a chat with it over a cup of tea. It's all within your power to fill in the season with color, literally, and personality. But most importantly, it's an archetype of wisdom. Every turning in the wheel of the year, every espet and sabbat is an opportunity to have a discussion with mystery, to touch onto some knowledge that is unique to its timing. So we can relate to fall and the wisdom of the natural world and all the ways that fall can teach us. And we can give it a personality and have a conversation with it. We can also find specific gods and goddesses aligned to this time on the wheel of the year. Even if they're not, in the end, anyone we want to stay with for any length of time, there's wisdom in their stories. It's the wisdom of humankind for generations upon generations. We want to look for, well, let's say examples of deities of the land, deities of harvest, deities that represent the hero, the aspect of what must be sacrificed in order for the land to be reborn. We have a lot of stories in Celtic mythology of the earth as goddess. And the day before there was human form, the earth itself was goddess. And she endured only when certain sacrifices were made on her behalf. We have examples throughout all of our ancient mythologies about either goddesses or gods where one must die in order for the seasons to turn. We have Persephone coming into the underworld this time of the year. So the story of Hades and Persephone, something to explore further. And we have stories like Isis and Osiris, and we could go on and on. It's good to read the mythologies of many, many cultures. See what deities are aligned to fall in the declining times of the year of harvest, even of hunting, gathering, community. You're going to see then the thread of shared wisdom that runs through so many of their stories. Along the way, of course, individual deities could say, hey, we need to spend some time together. You may find one especially speaks to you, or more than one, but you may find some that intrigue you the most. This is the way. When we wander through the countless stories that are available to us, the countless cultures, all throughout the history of humanity, when we explore these deities, we can be, if I use another mythology as an example, Amaterasu in the cave. There we are, wanting to explore and learn and grow, and something needs to tempt us out of our darkness in order for the sun to return. And there's countless stories that we can read that will link us to all those moments in the turning of the wheel. And maybe along the way, we'll find that certain gods are asking us to spend some more time with us. And then there's the story we tell of the wheel of the year. And by we, I mean each of us individually. The story I tell of the wheel of the year, it's a pretty traditional story within the Wiccan traditions. Goddess is still above ground at this point. She's left behind. God, he is retired to the underworld where he rules Maybe it's the place he has his most power. But then again, what about when he returns at the winter solstice and becomes the returning of the world? He has power in both realms. In the story that I tell, has been part of my traditions, by the time Samhain gets here, Goddess will have made the descent, and we'll probably have a short video on that, to join him below. And what she has to do, to leave behind and descend. It's a great teaching to we human folk who face the descent often in our lives. What's the Wheel of the Year story of the gods for you? So you can explore gods in the season of Mabon, in nature, and in the archetype of wisdom you decide this season is. You can explore it through the gods and goddesses of all cultures throughout time. And you can be very involved, intimately involved with writing the story of the gods during the Wheel of the Year as you experience them. I share from my perspective, and I love it when I learn more about the stories of the gods that others tell for the Wheel of the Year. We explore the gods in nature. We explore aspects of them in wisdom and in our psyche. We explore them historically. And then we tell their story from our own perspective. I wish you all mirth and reverence in the season of Mabon. Merry part.